Hello, fifth graders. I'm going to go over the 12-5 quick check from yesterday. So this first problem, it says, what is the total number of miles she hiked? Well, we have to add all of the values of all of these dots together. So 5 1/4, we're going to add 3 times, 5 1/2 twice, 6 1/4 5 times, 7 1/4 twice, 7 1/2 once, 7 3/4 once. If we add up all of those, we find the total amount of miles is 87 3/4. The next one, the same exact thing. To find the total amount of pounds all of the kittens weigh, add up all the values. 1 1/2 3 times, 1, 2, and 1 1/2. Add them all up, you get 5 pounds. Now, instead of adding up, we can also multiply by the frequency or the amount of times it appears. So 2 1/4 appears once, so we multiply it by 1. 2 1/2 appears twice, so multiply it by 2. 2 3/4 appears 3 times, so multiply it by 3. 3 1/2 once again, so multiply it by 1. And 3 3/4 again is 1, so multiply it by 1. And if we multiply all of those in the parentheses and add them all up, we would get the total length in inches. Next one, how long are the longest feathers in the data set? Not the most common, but the longest feather is 2 3/4. Let's see if my internet wants to cooperate. There it is. All right, so I'm going to look at, let's see, I see that there's 2 1 3/8. So this one only has 1 1 3/8. This one has 2, and that one only has 1. So we're stuck now between these two. Let's see, 1 1/2. I only see 1, and that one has 3, so it must be C. The next one, a blank is a value that is very different or lies outside. Remember, that's an outlier. This one, again, you're clicking which one is the correct one. Well, I see 9 1/4 3 times, once, twice, 3 times. There's no 9 1/4 here. It's only once here. It's only once here, so it has to be this one. So I kind of just see what stands out in the graphs and then kind of try to match them up a little bit. This one, what was the total growth of the plant in 14 days? Again, you're adding them all up, all those values. Well, 0 times 3 is 0. You could either add 1 1/8 6 times, or you could just multiply it by 6. 1/4 times 2, 3/8 times 2, 1 1/8 times 1. Add those all up, you end up getting 3 1/8. The next one, only 4.5 grams or more. So 4 and less, you're not even going to worry about. You're just worrying about this section right here, adding up all of those values. So 4.5 times 5 plus 5 times 3 plus 5.5 times 2 plus 6.5 times 1, because there's only one value. You end up getting, if you add them all up, 55 grams. Next one, how can you find the value that occurs most often? Not the shortest column, not the farthest to the right, not in the middle, but the tallest column is the value that occurs most often. This one says, which 3 pearl sizes occur least often, which means not the tallest, but the shortest columns. So these 3, I see 5.5, I see 7, and I see 7.5. Next one, how many kickball players are older than 11 and younger than 11 3/4? So they're not asking for the total amount of years the players combined are. They're asking just how many are there. So we're not worrying about 11 and we're not worrying about 11 3/4. We're just looking at this middle bunch, and they're just asking how many kickball players are there. So count all of those dots. And if you count all of those dots, you see that there are 12 kickball players in total. All right, so let's see if we submit. Perfect. All right, so hopefully that cleared up any questions that you guys had. Enjoy the rest of your day.